Alright, so this towel shelf, it's made of MDF and it's trying to span 180 mil. 1800 millimeters. And the thing is, it's got no internal support, no supports. So you put any weight on this, it's going to bend. So I need to put a support leg in there. I'm going to show you how to do it. Alright, so first of all, what's this, about 200 and to the top of the shelf is about 205 mil. Just going to check the other side. Yeah, 205 mil the other side, and the middle is already sagging. It's 215 mil. Alright, so that 205 mil on each side is our important part. Let's just see what it is to the floor. To the floor, it's 385 mil to the floor. Alright, so I need to have put a prop here. I've got my two measurements, 385. That sits up there pretty well. Alright, so I had to find one of these offcuts of poly panel. I want poly panel that doesn't have a cut edge. I want one with the plastic at the bottom because it's going to be in a wet area. I don't want water hitting the exposed MDF, so I want this. I'm also going to put a little plastic furniture stopper on the bottom here to stop any of that bullshit. But anyway, first of all, let's find the middle of our thing. So what have we got? We've got 1980. 1980, so what's that? That's 950. And then 40, so that's 990? Yeah, 990, I think is the middle of that. It's 990. Let's go down here. Double check the other side. Oh, how annoying. Right in the middle of two of these slats. So I'm going to pick this one. Pick that one. My piece here, I've already worked it out, but so to the bottom of the shelf was 230 mil. From the bottom of the vanity to the floor was 385 mil, and that gives me 155 mil. But I'm going to recess this in. I'm going to router it in 10 mil as well because I want it to be a strong joint. So I have to make this 165 mil. Here we go. 65. I wonder if I could do this one-handed. That seems like a stupid idea. It seems like a terrible idea to try and do this one-handed. Let's get it close. Ugh. I can do it one-handed, I bet. Yeah, the boys. Alright, that's our piece. That's going to be our leg. Back up to where it was. Oh. Alright, now that we've got this, I've got my middle point. I'm going to trace this on there, but I have one more measurement to do. So because I've got the middle point, which is the middle of everything, right? I can't actually see the mark because it's underneath fucking said leg. So we can offset our middle point. So this is 40 mil. So if I offset the middle point by 20 mil, I'll get the edge of it. Alright, so what are we? We're 450. Half of 450 is 225. and then we're going to go 20 mil, so we're going to go 205. 205. That's our offset line. So now we just line this up with there, and that will give us our center. Just going to quickly trace it with a pencil. And this part I'm just doing by eye, because sometimes if things are out, putting it in square and plumb will make it look out if everything else is out. So I'm just doing this by eye, trying to keep the gaps even on each side. And as soon as it's pretty close, we'll just trace it. On New Year's Day. Checking that out. Now, whenever I do any routering, any bit of routering, I like to use a Stanley knife on the cut edge, because what ends up happening is the router will it will work right to the edge where the Stanley cut is, and then it will flick it off in a straight line. It'll flick off to where the cut is. So on the top, you get a nice straight line, or straight enough, right? Because if you use a router, it's hard to pull a router in a straight line because it's like a circular bit moving like this. It's got like its own intrinsic like pull, like it wants to pull one way a lot of the time because it's spinning, right? I guess you'd call it torque. All right, but if I put little bit of a fucking score line here, I just fucked that up, so I'll fix that up when I get a chance. I'll just put a little bit of a score line so when I do router it, it's just going to look sweet. But I'm also going to dowel it. I'm going to put some dowels in because it's right at the bottom of this shelf. It's going to be in a kickable territory, and I'm going to want to make it strong too with dowels. So first of all, let's start getting some middle points. And then I'm going to transfer some lines over. So I've already found the middle point with my little sliding square here. Doesn't quite have to be the middle, but I just need some straight lines. Yeah, okay, it's not too bad. Yeah, I think it's about 12 mil on each side. It gets me pretty close to where I want. I have to do it this way, it's annoying. The phone's in the way. Alright, so there. That's going to be my middle points. And now we need to transfer that over to this. And this is a very simple way to do it. Just fucking line it up, mate. Line it up. Mark there. Mark there. Flick it over. Mark here. Mark there. Let's get this line now. There. Even it out. There. And then I'll just join all these lines, right? New Year's Day. So now when I draw all these lines, I'll get that. And that should be all those points. So let's go drill them out. Little pilot hole bit. I'm only doing the pilot hole bits because if you use a bigger drill bit, it's just a bit harder to. The bigger drill bit wants to wander a bit more than just a little pilot hole first. Yeah, like that. 2 holes. Now it's going to get a bigger bit. And this would be the same size as the dowel. Nice and slow. went a little too deep on that one. Look at that. I'm just going to double check with our dowels. The other way. Yeah, she fits alright. Alright, now I've got to router it out. And then glue the dowels in. That one's a bit rough, but it'll be fine. Be fine for what we need. So all I did there was I just used a Stanley knife just to square up the edges, because a router is a round blade and you can't make square edges with a round blade. So I just got a Stanley knife and I just cut this square, and then she feels like she's in a little bit. Let's test it with the dowels now. Yeah, okay, that's going to work nice. Also check to see if it's square before I start doing the proper shit. Yeah. So I'm quite comfortable now in gluing and fixing. Standard PVA glue. Glue in the holes, obviously. A little bit of dry glue at the top there. Glue in the hole. And then a little bit of glue on the inside, not too much, because when the dowels go in, the glue's going to ooze out, and you don't want that to take up your space as well. In the hole, as I said, not too much. The dowel itself is going to push it in. Alright. Dowel. I remember this had a certain way. It went better one way than it did the other way. Alright, see the glue's oozed out now. Check it. I'll clean some of this glue off, and then we'll be ready to fill it. Let's use some glue off. Alright, just going to check it for level and square. So this is plumb actually, plumb and square. Plumb that way. Needs to be plumb the other way, that way. And then I'll let the glue dry, and then we'll fill it. So I'll take this off. So it's square to this. Alright. I'll leave that for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. And now the filler. It's a good little poly filler, this thing. I like it a lot. It just sands off. Fix your gaps with it. Just that extra touch. The Midas touch, mate. Usually I've got a scraper or an applicator for it, but it's in the car, I can't be fucked getting it. So I'm just going to apply it with my fingers, and then I'll just sand it off when I get a chance. No, but watch, it'll come good. It always does. Stanley. Let's clean these edges off. We're going to clean this. There we go. Clean the edges off with the Stanley. All the excess. A sharp Stanley blade won't scratch it, which is good. As long as you use it like a flat. Like you use it flat, not like you're trying to, you know, like, what the fuck's the word I'm looking for? Gouge into it, that's it. Try to gouge into the cunt. You know what I mean? Fucking gouge the cunt. Fucking gouge the cunt, he says. Alright, I'll let that sit for a little bit, and then you can sand it off, and it should turn out pretty fucking smick. Pretty fucking schmicko, mate. Alright. Oh, banger on the radio. Just a light, real light sand. Nothing too hefty. Fucking light. This is 240 grit. I'd like lighter, but it's the lightest I've got. Not as coarse is what I mean. And then some undercoat, Zinza, sorry. Just to give it a little. Like that. We'll get it looking like it was made for it. Now the final touch. Final touch. These. They're the final touch. I had an open pack somewhere, but I don't know where it is, so we'll just open this one. These are the little rubber things I was talking about, the furniture stopper things. Only because it's a wet area, I don't want it, any water to touch the bottom of this. So I'd rather these. And you don't see it there. $14 to go.